SGA once again. Little hesitation. The left hand. What a move by SGA.
Another block.
Chet Holmgren, the long arm of the law.
It's going to game. Those are key minutes without SGA. And another drive. J-Dom cocks it back and throws it down.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up? Welcome to the Uncontested Podcast. Coming to you live Friday, June 13th? Saturday, June 14th? Don't really know. Don't really care. The Oklahoma City Thunder storm into Indianapolis. Take game 4, 111-104 to even the NBA Finals at 2 games apiece in an absolute nail-biting, insane, stressful, making me need therapy and medication basketball game. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. I got my homie, Justin Peabody here.
Hello, everybody.
We got TP on the show.
They did it.
Insane. We're brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network. This pod better be front page on Blue Wire tomorrow. That's all I know. And our homies over at Prairie Artisan Ales. Hey, I'm just saying this right now. I haven't talked to my buddy Greg and Adam from Prairie, but at one time they said, quote, you can do whatever you want. So here's what we're going to do. Thursday, June 19th. Most people in Oklahoma and the states are off of work for Juneteenth. Thursday is game 6. It is in Indianapolis. Thursday, there is a watch party at Prairie Artisan Ales. Let me tell y'all something. The Thunder come home and win game 5. We're just speaking hypothetical here. They come home and win game 5.
They better.
They will be on the road to win an NBA championship next Thursday. Don't watch at home on your couch by yourself. Don't have your kids running around the house. Don't be come out to Prairie. We are going to turn the hell up. Come hang at Prairie. It's going to be a blast. Tayler will be there.
I'll be there.
Justin will not be there.
I will not be there.
Oh, we'll make JD come. Whoa,
Hey,
will he be there?
whoa.
Hey, guess who will be coming to Game 5 of the NBA Finals? One JD De Silva.
JD, did you say JD De Silva?
I did. I just.
Jiminy Christmas.
It's late. I'm scattered.
Someone in the chat should put an over-under on how many beers Tayler has drank in the past 24 hours. I'd be interested to see
Not
your
nearly
guesses.
enough.
This guy woke up at 2 p.m. today
I did.
because I
slept
woke
in.
him up at 2 p.m. today.
That's not true. I was up.
Oh,
That's not
pause
what I
the
heard.
show. Pause the show.
Dave.
Dave coming in early tonight. This is a larger donation than normal.
Dave,
Dave's
you're
getting
making me
frisky.
worry.
Dave says Matherin MVP. Yes, sirs. Pacers and 8. The amount of shit Thunder fans get nowadays, man. These are clearly fouls. Shai got tripped before the push off too. Irrational fans everywhere.
Pacers fans
Dave
were livid.
coming
with the
right.
refs.
They were not happy.
Dave coming with the heat right out the gate.
King Dave. Dave, you get a T-shirt when they win a title. I just want you to know that.
You gotta stop with all the win.
With the
business.
wins. I know. Knock on wood.
I'm confident.
Stop.
I did lose my parlay tonight.
Please enlighten the audience about your parlay.
My
Jacob, who famously has a sounder on
Listen.
the show, I've never made a parlay in my life. Made
That-
a parlay tonight because the stress of this just wasn't enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
right.
don't have a gambling account, so somebody in the Discord made let me Venmo them money. Someone in the chat said Woo Dave Clan instead of Wu Tang
Ooh, I
Clan.
like
that is hard. So I Venmo $20 to my homie from the Discord, and made a parlay. It was Shai 30+ hit, Dub 25+ hit, Thunder win the basketball game hit, Caruso 2 steals hit, Caruso 2 threes miss.
Ooh.
So close.
My twin let me down. Let's talk some hoops. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Here, I'm going to give you guys some of the team stats from tonight. They are staggering. and then we're going to talk about this game. Thunder shoot 47% compared to the Pacers 42%. 3-point field goals. Thunder 3 of 17. That's bad for those of you who struggle with math. Pacers 11 of 36. Still not good, but that's 36 to 17 attempts. The Thunder made 3-point field goals to the Pacers 11. Thunder shot 18%. Pacers shot 31. It was a free throw contest. Regardless of what the Pacers fans will tell you, 38 to 33 on free throws on the night, and that is with Shai getting intentionally fouled at the end, and Ben Mathurin shoving his head straight up his ass and doing some wild stuff.
I saw a tweet that said someone needs to check Ben Mathurin's DraftKings account immediately.
Absolutely. So the Thunder shoot 90% from the free throw line. Out-rebound the Pacers by 10. On assists, the Pacers had 21. The Thunder had 11. That's bad.
That's crazy.
Steals are pretty much even. Blocks are pretty much even. Turnovers, dead even. Points conceded off turnovers, dead even. Fast break points, dead even. Points in the paint, 50 for the Thunder, 36 for the Pacers. Fouls, pretty much dead even, 26 to 27. That's what I got for you guys. Justin, I don't even know where to start, brother. You riff.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever say that again.
I didn't say yes, sirs. I said yes, sir. I think that was subconscious, though. I've heard so many people yell yes, sirs at me this week that I did it by accident. This game was awful, and I hated it for most of it. At one point, I was planning at what tipping point of score and time remaining do we get out of this arena so we don't get sacrificed in the streets of Indianapolis. That's where my head was at for most of this game. There's so many things Oklahoma City has to do better, and yet winning ugly is a lot better than losing pretty. So we have learned this from the Denver series. We made the comment multiple times in the arena tonight of how similar this series has felt to the Denver series and how similar tonight felt. Just like Denver game 4, it took a wild fourth quarter comeback in a game where it felt like the Thunder just didn't have enough. They did it again. I'm not saying the rest of the series is going to go the same way the Denver series did, but you have now stolen home court advantage back from the Pacers, and you have a best of 3 series with 2 games at home. You have to feel pretty good about that, right? You have to feel pretty good about that. The Thunder did what they needed to do, barely. Still lots of things they need to clean up and take care of in game 5 if they want to have a shot to win it. They cannot play like they did for the majority of tonight. And credit to the Pacers. I tweeted this during the game. The thing that stood out to me the most and the thing that was most frustrating to watch was on full display tonight, but has been the theme of most of this series, and that's the Thunder don't look like the team that we've watched for 100+ games.
Agreed.
And that is, I think that's full credit to the Pacers. This is the only team we've seen dictate what Oklahoma City can and can't do for most of this series, and it's jarring because no one's been able to do that.
They're doing OKC things.
They're doing this, right? This is what Oklahoma City does to other teams, right? They dictate everything. The way they're pressing 94 feet the entire game, the way that Oklahoma City looks scared to pass, the way that people are second-guessing shooting pretty open three-pointers, like that's not this Thunder team. And that's the Pacers being in their heads a little bit. What you saw in the fourth quarter was the Thunder finding some success, doing some things that they're used to doing. Shai getting hot down the stretch was badly needed compared to the rest of the game. But I think that full credit to the Pacers team, man. I'm incredibly impressed after watching 4 games of this series so far.
They've been awesome. And you mentioned the Thunder getting back to things that they can kind of do in the fourth quarter. And one thing that I kind of loved, you can't run this offense for a full 48 minutes, like clearly. It was like the crunch time offense. And I think there's a lot of tweaks the Thunder can make moving forward offensively. Role players are going to play better at home, et cetera, et cetera. But Tayler, the J-Dub bringing the ball up the court with Aaron Nesmith.
Nesmith, he nailed it.
On him. And then Andrew Nembhard on Shai. They run the guard-to-guard screen got the switch with Neesmith on Shai, and then Shai just immediately kind of posts up right at the top of the key, gets the pass, and then can ISO go one-on-one. He drew fouls. Pacers fans were very upset. There were a lot of fouls. They were very clearly fouls. Maybe a couple of them were iffy, but like the one where Neesmith hit Shai on the little midi pull-up, clearly got his whole arm, different things like that. But I love just that little two-man, get everyone else the heck out of the way, let Shai and Dub play pick and roll, throw it to Shai in that little mid-post, let him ISO and do his thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Thunder did a much better job there in that fourth quarter getting Shai freed up. We talked a lot this series about how I think they needed some more guard-to-guard pick and rolls to be able to free Shai up in that situation. And something we haven't even mentioned yet, the Thunder go back to their traditional starting lineup ever since Chet's been healthy of the double big lineup, which allows for players like iHeart to be able to come up and set higher screens. Didn't have a lot of success with that early on because, like you guys mentioned, the Pacers being able to bring that pressure full court for the entirety of the game. But I think it opens up so many other options and different lineups. I mean, honestly, the best lineup of tonight wasn't with iHeart in there, but it was with Caruso in instead of iHeart, which we've seen the majority of these playoffs.
Caruso was unbelievable.
I can't
Should
wait.
we do King of the Prairie?
I think we should. King of the Prairie, brought to us by our friends at Prairie Artisan Ales, a great place to go watch Game 6. They have
not a great place to go watch Game 6.
The
place
okay,
to go watch
yes,
Game 6.
correction. They also dropped a new beer today called Bucket Hat, German Pils, in time for Father's Day. So go get your father a bucket hat and a pack of bucket hats. It's got to be Alex Caruso, King of the Prairie, right?
20 points on 7 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3. Damn it, Alex. My parlay. 5 of 7 from the line. 3 rebounds, 5 steals, and a block.
5 steals.
Tied for a team
Insane.
high plus 14. Yeah, 2+ steals on the parlay.
Nailed it.
I can just print money.
You should have upped it.
Nailed it.
What's crazy, Nick just sent this in our group text from ESPN. Alex Caruso becomes the first player to have 2 20-point games in the NBA Finals after having 0 in the regular season.
That's crazy.
It's been huge. Huge.
And his minutes have gone up, not
And
coincidentally.
His minutes have gone up. How many minutes? 30 minutes.
Didn't
tonight.
play enough.
It's not enough.
I mean, there's so many different directions we can take this. Like,
Few solid bench players, but it's not enough.
I mean, Caruso had 20 points off the bench. The rest of the Thunder
Few
team
dogs
had
who will really defend, but it's not enough.
7 points outside of Caruso off the bench. That's been the theme these 2 games for OKC, struggling to find bench production. I thought Wiggins came in and gave some solid minutes, but still wasn't scoring. I mean, it was Caruso who just was incredible there. And one thing that is interesting, we haven't talked about Shai doing our.
Yeah, well, we're still doing King of the Prairie, so
I
we can
know.
get to Princes.
I know we can get to Princes, and obviously Shai deserves that with his 35
Taylor
ball.
said, King of the Prairie. Let me do the podcast real quick.
That's right. But it was very strange with Shai's minutes distribution there in the first half. He sat how long was that there in that first quarter? We were talking about, are we even going to see Shai again in the first? In the second quarter, third as well, he said early. Very different minutes distribution from Mark tonight, especially with Shai, to the point that I had people text me like, is Shai okay? Is he hurt? Is he sick? What's going on? And then Shai closes like he did in the fourth.
Yeah, Shai was freaking awesome. There's a stat where did I see that? Was it on? I don't know where I saw it at, but it said that Shai had the most points without an assist in a finals game since 1940 something, 50 something.
It's all the same. None of it's real.
Long time ago.
None of those stats are real, according to Tyler Hero.
That's right.
That was also the plumber era.
That's one of the things that we talked a lot about during the game was incredibly frustrating. Oklahoma City had 8 assists, like a good chunk into the game. I don't know where they netted.
11.
Great.
They got 3 more in the fourth.
11 assists, no assists for Shai. It was just so many things were out of character for this Thunder team tonight, just like they were in game 3. Credit to them for pulling out a win, but this team looks out of sort. They look scared to pass.
They
And
kind of do.
Absolutely.
Again, the passing numbers are very, very low.
yeah,
I think 211 passes tonight.
and like 350 for the Pacers.
Yeah, and
That's
this will
crazy.
go down again as one of the bottom 10 like total passing games the Thunder have had. They've had 3 of the 4 in this series. I also think we have to shout out J-Dub. 27 points,
incredible.
8 of 18 from the field, 11 free throws. He was 11 of 11 at the line, boys.
Incredible.
7 rebounds, 3 assists for Dub. People in the chat are mentioning he was just relentless getting downhill.
Yeah.
And I love to see
That's
it.
what you have to see from Dub.
18 shots, only 3 were threes, and he went to the free throw 11 times, which is, I mean, some of them are and one. So let's say that's 4 more trips into the paint where he got fouled. So that means 22 shot attempts, 3 came from outside the 3-point line. I love his aggressiveness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing more threes because holy mother of God, this team needs somebody to hit a 3-pointer.
Desperately.
13 or 17? How many 3-point attempts? 13?
17
No, 17.
3-point attempts, 3 of 17.
That's again
That's
so
so low.
uncharacteristic. One thing about Dub's game though that concerned me, and I tweeted this out. I think I mentioned it to you guys while we were sitting there watching it live. But that first quarter to start, it felt like he was settling so much for those setback jumpers. He was missing them, and we just kept saying, "Dub, drive the ball." And it felt so reminiscent of Game 3, the way he started that game, and then he finally starts attacking. But on top of all that, something you mentioned earlier, Jacob, is the additional ball handling duties that were assigned to him this game, trying to free up Shai, the way he was able to handle that, especially in the second half. I mean, 2 really incredibly impressive games. Trying to remember, I think somebody on NBA TV, but they said after the game, J-Dub kept them alive. Caruso got them back to where they needed to be, and then Shai finished it, basically.
I love that. And
I think
as
that's the story.
As
the
Kaylee
Thunder's
Brew
offense.
points out with her super chat, J-Dub sacrificing his butt for the team. That's a dog.
I hit the ground. Justin saw me.
I did.
I thought he died.
Jacob felt secondhand pain in his own butt.
I was so afraid for Dub. I hope he's all right.
Dub and Chet, but Chet twists 2, and we can talk about Chet, who
the
was
ankles.
absolutely incredible in the fourth. Twists 2 ankles in the game. And
Chet 14 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. 1 assist isn't much, but when you had 11 for the team, 1 assist is a lot.
It's almost 10%.
Absolutely.
the best part, though, and I think you guys will probably agree, was his defense down the stretch there in the fourth quarter.
He was awesome.
Agreed. They were hunting him in the switch, and they got it, and he held his own. And that
against Halliburton
huge.
on the perimeter, being able to guard like that.
Well, and he did a really good job of staying low, and it's like, let Hallie dance and keep him away from that floater. And if he wants to shoot a step back 3 over a 7'1" contest,
he contested it well.
Then go ahead.
When that happened. Exactly. In the clutch, Chet, when he was the primary defender, the offensive players, I'm trying to remember who all it was, but they went 0 of 4 from the floor when those last 2 minutes when Chet was basically targeted, like we mentioned. And that's just incredible for a player like that. To
really
step up
good for Chet,
defensively.
who has a year and a half of NBA basketball under his belt. It's insane.
It's not enough.
We got
And people were talking about trading him after Game 3. I don't know if Chet's it. I don't know if he can do it.
People were talking about all kinds of wild stuff after Game 3.
Yeah. We got some supers.
Yeah, we got some supers. We got one from Michael who says YouTube doesn't show that we're live. Don't know what's up with that, but also let's go. We also have one.
YouTube trying to demonetize us.
Our guy Osamba Reggio 7 who says he was watching ESPN's post-game presser, and you could clearly hear Indy fans chanting "F you, Shai" as Stephen A. Smith talks. I love the
Amazing.
heat. Check it out on YouTube later.
But hey, shout out the Thunder fans that were there in attendance, because
they
as
were
the
great.
Pacers were clearing the arena, loud OKC chants down low.
It was pretty cool.
And then getting to meet up with a bunch of OKC fans there in the concourse after the game, a big collection of them.
And we ran into a handful of listeners tonight, which I've just got to say,
So cool.
personally speaking, is an insane experience to be in Indiana at the NBA Finals and have someone say, "I listened to the uncontested."
It's
Like,
insane.
I'm sorry, what?
So cool.
I was
So cool.
walking
So
through,
cool.
so I took this picture. It was during a timeout. 2:21 left in the fourth, and the Thunder. Wait, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 9:28 left in the fourth. Thunder are down 3, 89-86, because it just felt like a momentum swing. Like this was going to be it. How the Thunder responded out of this timeout was going to essentially decide the game and potentially the series. And it just felt important. And sure enough, the Thunder were able to do that. But during that time, I was going through the concourse and had some just random Thunder fans come up. They're like, "Hey, you're on the podcast." And then as that's happening, you guys are going in and meeting with some Thunder fans shortly after up in the seats. And sure enough, they listen as well. Like, that's just crazy to be in Indy and have that happen. Shout out to all the fans.
Shout out to the fans.
Let's talk more about this game.
Also, shout out to Adam Loves Horror with the super chat. MVP with 0 dimes, OKC with 3 threes, and won the fourth. TTFU.
Heck yes.
Unreal.
So this is kind of crazy. We've talked about the Thunder's 3-point shooting. Lou Dort and Alex Caruso. And again, this is a little outdated because it was a little before the game ended. Lou Dort and AC are 56% from the floor. From 3. 19 of 34. The rest of the Thunder roster is 18 of 70 this series, 26% from 3.
That passes the eye test.
Yeah, definitely. Alex has been awesome. Dort's been awesome. And the thing is, they didn't get much help elsewhere. Like, I think Chet had an incredible night. I'm 14 and 15. Like, that's exactly what you needed from Chet. I thought he crashed the glass really hard. I want him to shoot some more open threes. But you got 2 from Hartenstein in the starting lineup. You got 6 from Lou. You got 4 from Kenrich Williams. You got 1 from Aaron Wiggins. You got 2 from Cason Wallace. The heavy lifting was AC, Shai, Dub, and Chet.
AC in the big 3.
And so
that could be a band name.
AC in the big 3.
You got to hope coming back for game 5 that you get the bench performance that you need, right? The Pacers,
Aaron Wiggins.
The Pacers got that in game 3 from Benedict Mathurin and TJ McConnell. Shout out Ben Mathurin. He wins you games. He loses you games. You
got good Obi game today.
Obi 17, 7, 2 of 5 from 3. Obi was really good, but he was a minus 15. So
one thing we haven't talked about yet, but came right out of the gate. Oklahoma City went back to double bigs.
I mentioned that a little bit
I kind
ago.
of forgot that happened because of everything that happened afterwards. But Oklahoma City goes back to double bigs. They start Chet and Hart. I don't think it's all the double bigs' fault, but they found themselves in a hole pretty quick in this one. And it felt like they were having some trouble switching, gave up some open corner threes.
And they continue to switch over and over, which still kind of drives me crazy. I'd like to see that adjustment maybe change a bit heading into game 5.
I also felt Hart was not doing great in covering pick and rolls and wasn't killing it rebounding. And, Jacob, I think you and I said this during the game too, of like, give Kenrich some burden, right? If that's the performance you're getting,
there,
and
he has to be the strongest, most physical guy out there. I think he was out there for screening purposes, to be fair.
Yep, that's true. And I thought Kenny had some great minutes, great production tonight. In 11 minutes, he manages to put in 4 points, 3 boards, and an assist.
But I thought he defended really
one of the
well
11.
well.
That's right, one of the 11. Every
kidding.
assist is big when you got one tonight. I think that'll be interesting to watch. I would expect double big to start game 5, wouldn't you?
And look, the way they played tonight is not sustainable. You can't do this again.
No, you cannot.
But bro, at the end of the day, this is the NBA Finals. There are a max of 3 games left in your season. I don't care how you win. I don't care if Shai shoots 50 times. I don't care if Hartenstein fist fights someone, which almost happened tonight.
It did almost happen.
That was wild.
I forgot about that. I don't care how you do it.
You just
win 2 more.
Absolutely.
Now, they need to get back to their style. I don't think this will sustain, but the defense, I mean, I was going to share this with you guys. Scoring by quarter. First quarter, 34-35, Indiana. Second quarter, 23-25, Indiana. Third quarter, 23-27, Indiana. Fourth quarter, 31-17.
That's incredible.
That's a complete reversal of the entire series.
Exactly what I was going to say. I
Yep.
tweeted that from the account that Oklahoma City found themselves down 7 going into the fourth. And Indiana's dominated the fourth quarter across the course of the first 3 games. They were plus 27. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Plus 27. And
seeing
Oklahoma
that
City
stat.
comes in and takes 14 off of that tonight in one game. They
awesome.
absolutely reversed the trend in a big way that they had to do it. They stepped up when they had to. Like you said, not sustainable at all. Like the Thunder cannot play like this
But
again.
I think Pacers fans can be saying that, and Thunder fans can also be saying that. I mean, the first 4 games of this series have kind of been like an inverse of each other. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Game 1, the Thunder outplayed the Pacers for the majority of the game. The Thunder kind of collapsed in the fourth. The Pacers take advantage and they win the game. Very similar to tonight's game 4, where honestly, like we've been talking about, I think the Thunder were outplayed the majority of the game, but take over in the fourth quarter and win the game.
Yep.
Game 2, you have the Aaron Wiggins explosion off the bench alongside AC, who's been solid, obviously, the entire series. And the Thunder are able to pull out a pretty convincing win. Game 3, you have the Ben Mathurin game, right? Like there's so many, it's so similar the way that these two teams have been able to win these games, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
That's why it's a fun series. It's
And
been a heck of a series
Yeah,
so far.
it's been so much like the Denver series. That just blows my mind.
The game 4s have been incredibly similar. The Thunder were down
Yep.
5 game 4.
Thunder-
heading into the fourth.
Thunder have not lost.
Heading into the fourth against Denver.
Thunder have won 8 straight game 4s.
That's
Which is
crazy.
kinda wild.
That is wild.
That's clutch.
It's clutch.
Oh, guys.
That we got another super chat from our guy Skelton. Reverse the jinx, reverse the curse. Thunder in 6. I'm about to burst.
Whoa.
One thing that I would love to see the Thunder be able to do more of in game 5 is figure out a solution for the full court press.
Agreed.
It just sucks the air out of the offense before it even gets started. And again,
Yeah,
like,
the offense doesn't start any sort of motion until there's 13, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
a lot of times Shai's not bringing it up, and you're not getting set, you're not getting in position, and I think that's why it feels like this Thunder team. I mean, they had 11 assists, like we've mentioned multiple times, but so many possessions were one and done, one pass, get a shot, possession over.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so different than what we've seen from this Thunder team
And
when they're at their
you
best.
have to credit the Pacers defense.
Absolutely.
But that's something that stood out to me so much from games 3 and games 4, even tonight with the Thunder pulling out the win. We've talked so much about this season, and I'm a broken record on this podcast at this point talking about this, but the Thunder are at their best offensively when they're getting steals and deflections defensively, which lead to transition opportunities, which we have not seen very much of at all. And I can rattle off those stats.
Well, I think that's what's interesting is even when the Thunder are getting turnovers, something coming into the series, right, that we talked a lot about, that everyone talked a lot about, is the Thunder are great at forcing turnovers and the Pacers don't turn it over. Which force is going to win? In the last few games, what's really stood out to me is that even when the Thunder get turnovers, the Pacers are doing such a great job of shutting
Getting
down
back.
any transition opportunity that tonight there was multiple times where the ball pops out in the backcourt. In any other series, it's a breakaway dunk, and it didn't happen. The Pacers got back, they mucked it up, they slowed it down, they shut down the fast break. And that's just such a change from what we've seen from this Thunder team. I don't know how you fix that, because I think that's just the Pacers being like wiry as all get out, but it's really impressive. And I think it's totally changed the dynamic, because a lot of times the Thunder's transition offense kind of overcomes or makes their total offensive numbers look a little bit better.
Correct. And it seems like game three, they were kind of relying on that a little too much. They were expecting that to happen, and it never did. Game 4, it came a little too late, but it was enough to pull out the win.
Yeah.
Justin, I like you said, and I tweeted this out, this Thunder team is not going to win this series or win another game simply by outplaying the Pacers in the half court offensively. It's not going to happen. But I think really the only tweak there, something we keep talking about, is the Thunder's poor 3-point shooting. And going back home, game 5, when these players tend to shoot better from 3, that's really the only way, I think, because the Thunder generate a lot of open 3-point opportunities, or a lot of 3-point opportunities, even if they're slightly contested. You have to be able to knock down those shots. And honestly, win or lose this series, I think that's something maybe you're going to have to address in the offseason, because the Thunder need some consistent 3-point shooting from outside.
New podcast name, Slightly Contested.
Slightly contested podcast.
One thing that I kind of noticed tonight as well, now kind of getting a little bit of time away from the game, looking at some of these statistics and whatnot. When you look at this series, the Thunder's defensive rating in the first half and the Pacers scoring in the first half has not been good. And then they really get it going. I mean, we're kind of touching on this with their fourth quarter and how bad they've beat the Thunder in fourth quarters in this series. When you look at tonight, fourth quarter, Pacers were 5 of 18 from the field, 28%, 0 of 8 from 3. They took 10 free throws, made 7 of them. They had 4 total rebounds and 1 assist and 3 turnovers, and a block. You look at the Thunder's fourth quarter, 60% from the field. One of their 3 threes came in the fourth quarter. It was a Shai step back, I believe. They shot 14 free throws. We had 24 free throws in the fourth quarter alone. That's insane. Pacers had 4 rebounds. Thunder had 12. Pacers had 1 assist. The Thunder had 2. Thunder did turn it over once more, and the Thunder had 2 blocks. But, I mean, they just suffocated the Pacers offense in the fourth. Absolutely suffocated it. And that's a credit to Alex Caruso. That's a credit to Lou Dort. That's a credit to Chet Holmgren. I thought those 3 were the catalysts. And here's why you can win this game, even though all the stats are super ugly. The assist stats, the 3-point shooting stats, all of that stuff sucks. How you win this basketball game is defense.
Absolutely.
It is defense. I mean, the Pacers had 35 points in the first quarter, scored 104 for the game. I mean, they mucked it up. They ratcheted it up. And when push came to shove, this team, they find ways to win basketball games. And a lot of that hinges on how good they are defensively.
Yeah, that's where it felt like, yes, on the offensive end, they got back to what they wanted to do a little bit, but defensively, it felt like they settled in. And like you said, got the Pacers a little bit uncomfortable, which they haven't done a ton of in the series, right? The first half of game 1 probably stands out, moments in game 2. But for most of the series, the Pacers have looked incredibly comfortable. The movement is incredibly impressive. When you're sitting up as high as we were tonight, you can see the movement really clearly. Mm-hmm. It's so stark on the 2 sides of the court. The Pacers are constantly flying around, and you really understand why it wears on teams when you see it in person. So for the Thunder to buck that trend and assert themselves in the fourth, that's usually the moment where the Pacers are used to breaking teams' wills. And I think that makes it really impressive. That was why I wasn't feeling very confident tonight going into the fourth, because you're gassed, you're tired, you've been dealing with this for the entire game. Like the Pacers wear you down. Credit to Oklahoma City for finding a way to pull it out.
Absolutely.
Pull it together. Anyway.
Hey, pull it out, leave it in. I don't care. Okay.
Stop.
Just get 2 more wins.
No, we have a couple of super chats to distract you from that. Okay. Alan McIntosh says, I'm so relieved that we won. SGA showed why he's the MVP. J-Dub and Chet showed up when they needed to. Also, both definitely need an ice bath.
Yeah.
We also got another one from our guy, Adam Loves Horror. Games 1 and 4, both teams choked, and not the good kind of choking.
Lord have mercy.
Now we're even in choke jobs. Game 5, I want to hear the fans from here in Michigan. That's a wild comment, Adam. Thank you.
Game 5 in Paycom is going to be
my gosh, that atmosphere
insane.
Will be off the rails.
Speaking of, we all leave Indianapolis in, 1 a.m., like 6 hours. Lord have mercy to me.
Let's go.
I got to drive.
Let's just stay up.
I've offered to split the drive with you.
I wouldn't take that off.
Taylor's going to run us off the road and into the Mississippi River. So we're leaving Indianapolis. I got to say, the Pacers fans have been great.
Great.
In arena, folks walking by saying, hey, best of luck. The people sitting around us being super friendly. Now, don't get me wrong. Like,
there's some jackalopes.
I heard some. They're the guys that were super nice to us were also yelling like, "If you, Scott Foster, free throw merchant. I mean,
Chet Holmgren's terrible. My favorite was the guy who every time Chet did anything, he'd say, "Eat a steak, Chet. Eat a steak."
I wish I could. Hey, I had a steak last night.
And it was incredible.
Woo! But Pacers fans have been awesome, minus a handful of just idiots. But we all got idiots. You know, there's
Every
idiots
fan
in
base
the
has
Thunder fan.
idiots.
I could at some of those idiots that are on Twitter.com right now. I will choose not to. But there's some idiots out there. Some Pacers fans were a little bit of jerks, but almost all the folks that we met were just absolutely incredible. Shout out to Indianapolis. Shout out to Pacer Nation. You guys were great.
My favorite was the guy tonight who was going full Aisha Curry. It's rigged. This is reality television.
Right to the
I'm
left of us.
seeing it right here. They stole this game. It was incredible.
I wonder where he was on January 6th.
I knew that's where you were going to go with that.
Yeah, Smoot says handful of idiots and a 300-pound homeless man.
Didn't see him tonight.
Didn't see him tonight.
Thankfully.
Weird. Wonder where he was.
Thankfully.
Not his house. I'll tell you that much.
No, like you said, Pacers fans are great. Had a blast. The
City's been
arena was
awesome.
pretty quiet at the end, but they know how to do a crowd pop.
Yeah.
Not as loud as Paycom. I'll die on that hill. But great crowd. Glad that this was where we got to experience versus New York. We wouldn't be in New York. We can't afford to go to New York, but like
And if we could, we wouldn't have made it out.
we had
alive.
some great conversation with people about that, of like, you know, people that appreciate the basketball that's being played in this series. Like, forget your market size. This is awesome basketball, and it's incredibly stressful. But from an outsider perspective, it's been an awesome NBA Finals, one of the best in recent years.
Yep. It was. Pacers fans were great. We appreciated the hospitality. We appreciated everything. And so if any Pacers fans are tuning into this,
like the guy we walked back with who said he was going to tune it.
Yep.
Shout out that guy.
there's a guy that sat next to me tonight who just chatted me up the whole game. Super kind dude. He would say, "What do you think about that foul?" And I said, "I'm biased. That wasn't a foul." And he said, "Yeah, it was, but I'm biased too." Like, just super fun experience. So, and super grateful that we had the opportunity to come to Indianapolis. That's all thanks to you guys, the listeners, the super chats, the Discord subscriptions, the buying the t-shirts,
The downloads.
the downloads
Yep.
for the
Every
for the
time
ad
you listen to a
revenue.
pod.
All
Even if
that,
you don't listen, just like put it on for a few seconds.
please. But all of that generates a little bit of revenue. And we said, you know what? If we can't spend the money that this podcast has made to go to the NBA freaking finals,
That's right.
what are we doing?
A little different than our summer league trips.
Yeah.
Yes, just a little bit more stress.
I don't know, man. I get fired up watching that. You can make a fire summer league parlay.
I did.
True.
And you know who smoked it for me there too?
Who?
The OKC Thunder. I had a 3-game parlay on summer league. I'm never making a parlay.
The
again in my
chat
life.
saying chat is OKC and 6 in play. I'll have you know, it's always been OKC and 6.
That's true. That's been Justin's
it
prediction.
might hit Justin.
Should have made.
But
a
yeah,
parlay.
so thank you guys so
Game
much.
5.
Without you all, this wouldn't be possible. Also, we hate that JD couldn't be here. So JD will be at Game 5 on
Let's
Monday
go.
night in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Someone make him take a charge.
Somebody find JD and Paycom, get a picture with him, send it to us. I will also be at Game 5, hopefully. So I will catch up with JD there, and yeah. But I think that will do it for us because we got to be on the road in 6 hours.
We got to pack this stuff up.
Absolutely.
Got some work to do.
Hey, thank you guys
Thunder in the
so
fourth.
much for tuning in. Thank you for everything.
Yep.
Incredible basketball game. Woo! Need a cigarette.
We'll see you on
They did it.
Monday.
Are we going to podcast on Sunday?
No.
Sunday's Father's Day. Take the day off, dads. We'll see you Monday after Game 5. Biggest game in Oklahoma City Thunder history. This one's not hyperbole. They have never in the history of the franchise been 2 wins away from an NBA title.
That's insane.
This is the
Absolutely.
first time ever. Game 5 is the biggest game in Thunder history in the Paycom Center. We'll be live right after the game, guys. Join us. Until then, and as always, Thunder up.